Hello everybody, welcome to my channel. Back up in the craft room, still working on my garden journal. I've taken everything out that, tags and journaling cards and all those things that I made. And look at this, we're still, so it's going to be alligator mouth, but that's what I like, and especially when this goes to someone, because if they don't like it, they can take them out. And in fact, there's 3 or 4 items that I really can't fit in here that I made for it. So I think it's 2 or 3. It's not 3 or 4, 2 or 3 that I'll send along with it. But yeah, this is the cover, and it ended up being 3 signatures and little beading work at the bottom. Little charms with the leaves, and so I thought maybe we could do this together, work on the cover together. And I don't know about you all, but I question, should I do this, should I do that, should this go here, should that go there? And because like one of the things I did, this was some time ago too, I did dye this seam binding. I don't even know what it was with. When I do the seam binding dyeing, I use so many different things to dye it with, but I was wondering, should I put this down first and then I have a window that's going to go there, and put that over it to keep it, and then I usually put something in the back to hold it in the back, and so this is with it at all times. But then I thought maybe, and that's what would look better because it would go under the window, but at the same time she might not want this at all, so she can just take it on. I'm thinking about just putting it on separate, not putting it down permanently, so that if this isn't her thing to keep it closed, that she could just toss it beside her. I'm thinking that's the way I'm going to go. So this is what I cut out of the paper pad, which is from Stamperia. And I just think that's gorgeous. Love the shutters, love the curtains with the ruffles. And as you see, this is the same print here. And then the lovely daisies and roses that are growing and cascading and everything. I just think that is so sweet. This, to my knowledge, is not part of this scene, but I thought it was so cute that I just left it on there. So I'm thinking this here. Now, normally, as you all know, I like to, on covers, I have so much fun with the 3D flowers that are really 3D, you know what I mean, and really stick out and everything like that. But then I realized that when you're writing on this side, like I said, I had to take everything out. But when you're writing on this side, it's more difficult when you've got that. I do have some flowers that are going to go on here, but they are crocheted and they are more flat. They're not completely flat, but more flat. And being crocheted, they're softer, so I don't think it'll be a problem. I hope not. The only thing I've done so far is go around it in, let's see here, in my Lawn Fawn Clover ink. I got this online. I get some items from the Rubber Buggy, and they do have clearance items. I know I'm not associated with them at all. And this was one of the ones on clearance, and I was like, clover, perfect for the garden, I didn't have this color, by the way. I had something close, but not exactly. So that's going around in that. Then I've used a die. Did I keep that out to show you? I don't think so. I've used a die for the corners, and I was going to put metal corners here and here. That helps keep it down. But I can't find them, and I have looked. When you reorganize your craft room and before that, you knew exactly where to go get them, okay? But once you reorganize everything, you're like, where did I put that? I know that, you know what I mean? I know that it used to be here, but then I went to every place it should be. They should be, because it's more than, you know, it's a few of them. Can't find them at all, so I was like, well, then I'm going to put these guys on. So with this one, I'm thinking on the shutters, I'm thinking I'm just going to put a little of the Distress Ink and Vintage Photo just on the shutters on the sides, maybe on the bottom. So how are you all doing? Are you all working on projects? Have a lot of projects going? Or are you like me? You've got a project, but you've also got some spring cleaning to do. That's what I'm doing these days. Let me see. When it comes to this, I can do one thing, because look at that green. And one thing I do is I take like an older, dried up baby wipe and do this to it so that it won't be so dark, because I just want a touch of it, you know. Okay. Yeah, I come in here constantly to work on this. I tried to do some things that, if they're not new to me, I haven't done them in many years. You know what I mean? It's been a long time. And I want this up here as close to the top as I can get it. And it's not going to be completely even here and here, but close enough. Do you know what I mean? Close. Like that would probably be like so. And that's what's on the back. And it says, Courts of Italian Princes, Chance of It Provide, and then something musical. Since it's going to be cardstock against cardstock, I'm going to use my art glitter glue. Do you guys use quite a few different glues? I know I do. And I think certain glues work best for certain items, but there are some people who only use one glue and one glue only for fabric, for laces, for paper, for cardboard, for everything. I haven't found that to be the best for me. But that's just me. And I always try to go to these corners because, as you all know yourself, if you don't get your corners or your little peaks here when you fussy cut, they want to come up. So I'm going to pull this a little closer to me, guys, because I'm going to try to get that right about there. And let me make sure. Remember, I have issues with being straight. Okay. Alrighty. And let's see, what is next? What do I want to do next? If y'all are doing your spring cleaning, are y'all doing any ironing, like taking your curtains down, washing them and ironing them? Dale and I, Dale from Not Too Shabby Chic, I did my last video was her Thrifted Treasures open collab. I will say this, I said it on that video as well. She is such a wonderful hostess. I mean, if you do anything on that collab, she is there. And she writes not only sweet comments, but funny. She had me laughing and laughing. And because I was saying these linens, because some of my linens were washed but not ironed. And I said, I haven't ironed them yet. And she would say, ooh, you know, she's like me, ironing, ooh. You know, I used to like ironing when I was young. You know what I mean? When if you did ironing for the family. It's not so bad. I mean, you get an allowance and something you've got to do. And, you know, I tried to do other things. Do you know what I mean? And while I was ironing, like listen to some good music or something. You know, not to just think, oh, now I have to do another sleeve, another sleeve. Or if it was, like I said, curtains, and you know, you just, oh my goodness, especially if they're to the floor, you just keep ironing. And I was like, I'm not having fun anymore. And that I did for years, though. Even married, I was still fine. But for the past, I'm going to say for the past like 10 years, I'm like, or even 15 maybe, I'm like, I'll do it if I have to. It's no fun anymore. Okay, I just want to make sure all my little peaks and valleys are, okay. So down here, this was actually cut from the title of the paper pad. And I just fussy cut, and then again went around it with the clover ink. And then this, I don't think, no, you know, because that's all double-sided. So this I got from, this is very light cardstock, but I got this from something else, and I don't remember what. Because sometimes when I'm organizing, I'll just take all green cardstock and put in a container, all pink, all, you know, that kind of thing. If it doesn't go to us, you know what I mean. If I just purchased it on clearance somewhere through the years. So I want my garden to go here. I also cut out a little piece. Oh, there it is. I was going to say I also fussy cut that, which comes from a different paper pad. But I thought, how cute would that be to pick up these pink roses and put it over the G. So I cut 2 of them because I was going to then have one down here, but I lost one. And so I was going to do the corners, and then when I said, oh, over the G, I liked it so much, I was like, nah, you don't need the other one. And as I don't know how much of this you can see. Oh, you can't see that much. It's a huge mess. Huge, huge mess here, but that's the way I work. I work in a huge mess on my desk. But you know what I mean? It's right there. You know, it's something I pulled from my stash and said this would look good, or this is a maybe, and that type of thing. I have cut out these vintage crocheted flowers. I also showed them in my thrifted video, and this is what it's coming from, okay? I know some of you are going to say, Corn, shame on you. You stink for cutting up that beautiful work. But here's the way I look at it, y'all. There are some pieces I would never cut up. I'm serious. Ever, ever. And I can say never on that because I just wouldn't. But this one, because it has the pink and that yellow-green and the yellow, and I can get, you know, so many, and of course I can use this too as well, the center of it on a journal cover even. But I can use these in so many different projects, you know what I mean? And they're not completely flat. I mean, this part's flat, but of course this little, but it's not bad, you know what I mean? You can, like I said earlier, you can squish it. So, but just be careful because, you know, this is beautiful work. And, you know, sometimes you can't. Sometimes the thread, you know what I mean? If you were to try to cut it out, you would not succeed. But I want these guys, this is going to have to go down, because I want these guys to go like this. And then the garden underneath it. So, because to me, especially here, and especially it's going to be here, that, well, I've got all different shades of green. As you see, I've got an olive green, I've got a blue green, I've got a medium green, I've got a very yellow green, I've got, you know what I mean? And that, the reason I did that is because, as you all know, that's what happens in a garden. Not just a flower garden, but a vegetable garden, all gardens. You've got all shades of green. And so that's why I did that. And let's see here. Of course, these are going to go on with my Fabri-Tac. That's the way I like it. This one, should I do that the very last, or should I do that now, as to show me that this is where this has got to go, you know what I mean? So you have to place them accordingly. And I don't know if I want them straight across, or if I want this one up a little and these down, and I don't know. I'm not sure. I'm not sure about that. So, do you all do any crochet work? Especially with cotton thread. So pretty. Let's do this first. Yeah, I think that that's the way to go, because I wouldn't want to place these and then mess up my garden here. I'm going to go around this one in that same clover. And I think I have enough ink on here where we're okay. We don't have to add any more to the foam here. This one's from scrapbook.com. I got a couple of those. I don't shop there often, to be honest. But they were having a sale, this is a while back, and they said, hey, you might want some stuff on sale. Y'all know me in retail. Well, I'll do it if I have to. That's it. I like my corners done a little like so. Okay, so you have to make it stand out just a little bit. And I think we're going to go from there to there. Do I want that on with art glitter glue? I guess so. I reckon. Eek! It's fun to hear my clock again. It's a battery operated one, but it's pink and it looks like a little old-fashioned alarm clock. It's really cute. And my battery died, and I looked up, and that's the funny thing. I have, Handsome got me this light that has the time right on it. But I've gotten in such a habit of, let me see, y'all. I got in such a habit of looking at that little pink alarm clock with the bells, you know, on top, that I was like, Let's take these off and make sure. I don't know what it is about me and straight. There we go. That's almost touching that one though. Let's see here. Okay, that's better. Am I in front? Yeah, okay, I can see. Okay. And then we've got our garden here. And I'm going to have to go over a little bit. Alrighty. Normally, I would like to put this up on the foam tape, you know, and everything like that. But like I said before, if she wants to write on that other side, which she will have plenty of opportunity to do so, excuse me, then this would be easier if I don't put foam tape in it. Although I think it looks better, personally. But it's not all about looks, is it? Just like us, you know? It's not all about looks, even though sometimes with all those commercials with you'll be so much prettier if you did this, and you would look so much better if you did that. You know, like I said, I'm 69, so I call bull manure on that. I think if some of the most beautiful women I've ever seen in my life had nothing to do with makeup and diet and all of that. They just love themselves so much, and therefore they love so many people too, and were wonderful women that they didn't need nothing but being themselves. You know what I mean? And again, I know you might be saying, oh, Corin, that's so cute. No, I mean it. Been there, done that, and I mean it. Okay. So, I know I might lose some subbies over that. I have a tendency to lose quite a few subbies. I'm like a seesaw. I look at, you know, the analytics, and it's like boop, 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 boop. Oh, mercy. But that's just what I have observed in my lifetime. Let me see. Oh, now see, here's one of my little, make sure you get all your little pieces here off of your petals. That's what was joining it to the rest of the doily. I thought I'd gotten everything. Let me make sure. Okay, that one's good. How about this one? That one's, yep. There's no little white or cream sections on these guys. Okay, now we can do it. Like I said, I don't know if I want to do up and over like so, you know, like almost like a little arching. And should I put leaves underneath, or should I leave it alone and just do it straight across, like boom, boom, and boom, you know? Should I do that? This one's a little larger. Did you notice? Actually, this is the smallest. I don't know, guys. I don't know. That looks kind of pretty, though, doesn't it? Just to have it straight across. And, let's do something. Just as, oh, well, first off, let's put this on before I lose it. Do you ever do that? Yeah, that goes like so. Do you ever do that where you like something this tiny, especially if it falls off of this glass and ends up on the desk, and you're like, uh-oh, where'd that go? Like the other one I did of this. I did two, like I said, I did 2 of these. I've lost them before. And if I get a little overzealous with the glue, sometimes I just stick my finger in it, you know. Yeah, I like it just like that. Just like that. Okay. Now, I do have some leaves that come with a trim, or we can die cut leaves if we think we need them. Let's put that here. No. Or should that just be enough with all the pink, the cute little pinks? Also, let me see how we're doing time-wise. Oh, for Petey's sake, I take forever and a day. Let's just see. They're not roses, so I'm not going to use that rose dye. I have a larger punch back here. Ooh, that's on the radiator. Can you? That might do us. Let me see. Let me see how. Oh, that might be shining right in your eyeballs. Sorry, guys. Let me see how we're doing here. Now, color-wise, see there, that introduces even another green. So maybe we can do a punch in this and then a punch in something else. Oh! I have to, with these EK tools, sometimes you gotta really punch it. I'm trying to not grab another green if I don't, you know what I mean? If it's not like in a larger scrap. Let me see here. Look at this one. That's very similar to that one. All right, let's see what we get here. Will it fit on that little... Ew! I think that needs sharpening. Ah! That doesn't want to come out. Oh, well, I'll clean that out later. Okay. So, that almost looks like the color of the shutters, doesn't it? So let's see. Let's see what we can do here. I'm just experimenting, y'all. I might not do this at all. Because I wasn't planning on it. I was planning on being finished with this video by now. Do you ever do, because see, this would need to be done beforehand, you know, not after. So let's see here. Do y'all ever do that? You have things where you're like, okay, I like that. We're going to use just that. And then, boom. Well, maybe this will look good. That's another reason it takes me forever and a day. Because I do stuff like this. I'm like, well. And then maybe a few in the middle. I don't know. To me, that's getting too busy. Because, see, we can get out our markers even and mess with the leaves a little bit. We can, I might just use those leaves to go up the spine. Yeah, I think that's, no. I would, of course, put some in the middle, but I don't know. I think sometimes less is best, but sometimes not. I think I like that like it is, almost like straight across even, you know, like so. What do y'all think? Yeah, I think these leaves, maybe a combination of the paper leaves and I might do, might not, like I said, it all depends on if I like it when I see it. Up the spine might be pretty. That's all about the green, y'all. So let's do this. Let me get out my Fabri-Tac. This stuff is expensive, but I'll tell you, I just really, if they ask me to do a commercial for them, I'd do it. Because it'd be the truth. I love this stuff. I just don't love the price. I wouldn't be able to say that, though, would I? This stuff is great, but I don't like what you're charging for it. But there should be a reason for that. Do you know what I mean? There should be a reason that it is so much more expensive than other glues. But one of it being it is not water-based, you know. So I get that part. so. Whoops. And we're going to put this one right in the middle. And sometimes when you're dealing with crocheted items, you gotta kind of play with them a little bit there. Okay. Alrighty. Okay. Alright. And do I want this one like that? I like that. I like that. Does this one have a law like that? No. I think this is cuter. Okay. We can go like so and like so. Okay. I was trying to think of a story that I haven't told before, but you know, when you've been making videos for a number of years and you're not a young whippersnapper to begin with, sometimes you tell your story more than once. And especially if you thought, oh, maybe I can tell that one on a video, you know what I mean? Because sometimes you really get a kick out of just, especially being Southern, out of telling your stories. Oops, I don't want that there. See this? There's a string there, and it'll show. Because the Fabri-Tac, one thing I'm not a fan of, the Fabri-Tac does dry clear, but it tries clear and glossy. So, let's do that one here, where they're almost touching. And I'm going to spread these out a little bit, yeah. And then we've got one more to go. And then I have picked out some flatback pearls to go in the center of them. First ones I picked out were holographic, but this is going to get back and forth a lot, and you know, when you're dealing with that, sometimes the finish comes off on those holographic ones pretty easily. So I was like, nah, put those back, you know? So I did. I was trying to think, do I have any stories about something fun? But nearing the end of this, I did have something I thought, oh, I can say that on the next, you know, chat and craft, but I'm trying to, it's escaped me, y'all. I've got glue all over. Okay, then I'm just going to press down on just the center. Oh boy, I'm liking them. Oh, vintage crocheted flowers. Yes, please and thank you. And then these guys are what I had picked out. Part of me said, dude, Jim, but look at that. The pearls with this, especially with the window and everything, it just looks to me like it's supposed to be there, you know? So, and what I put them on with is, I've mentioned before, the Gem Tac by Beacon, which are the same people who do the Fabri-Tac. And Heather's the one that told us about this, that this stuff is good. But what I end up, because the hole in this is so big, I ended up putting it in one of these bottles, you know, because I was like, that's just too big. And this might not come out. Nope. So I have one of these hat pins that I put down here. And you can see where it dried in the tube itself. I'll clean that off later. And let's see, sometimes it will work right away, and sometimes I keep having to mess with it. No, we're working. We are working. Okay, and I always clean that end off because I just do not want to mess with it any more than I have to. So let's put this one in. Make sure you get it down on the paper. Get that one in. I gotta make sure I don't have that stuff on my fingers. Gluey fingers, y'all. And then this one. And it does take a while for the gem tack to set up. And if you do get some on there, you can wash it once it's dried up. That's how we're looking, y'all. That's how we're looking. And I want to thank you all so much for joining me today. And I hope you have a wonderful morning, afternoon, or evening. Bye-bye, everybody. Take good care.